What's up, everyone? Brandon with Strict Vision Athletics. So today we're talking shoulders. Yes, one of my favorite body parts to hit, and this is a really, really good circuit. So let's get into it. So today we have a total of 5 exercises, 1 single set and 2 supersets, then done back to back. The shoulders are a complex of muscles. It's not a muscle group. Remember that. There's a lot of different moving parts, a lot of different planes of motion, and a lot of important functionality that come from shoulder training. Too often times I see shoulder injuries. Probably knees and shoulders, the 2 areas that I see the most profound injuries the most often amount of time. And a lot of times it's just because they aren't being worked properly. They aren't being trained. Guys are expecting to go into the gym and do bench press. Guys are expecting to go into the gym and do a big heavy lat pull, and they're not taking the time. I take an entire day and just do shoulder work. I don't do anything else with it, just shoulder work. It's a lot of movement, and it's important to take a day per week and make sure you dedicate it to that area of your body that so oftentimes is neglected. So let's get to it. So the first exercise, this is an advanced workout, guys. I'm going to say that right out of the gate. A lot of our workouts in here are. Just so you guys know, we do make customized workouts for your individual home, for your gym, wherever it is that you guys are at. If that is something you want, let us know. If not, enjoy this video. So the handstand push-ups. I'm doing this on the power plate. So handstand push-ups are difficult. They're already an advanced movement pattern. Doing them on the power plate 10x's that difficulty. I'm confident that that's probably the most difficult handstand push-up variation I've ever tried. The power plate move unit that we have creates a frequency of vibration that moves up your joints, up to your shoulders, and just really, really adds a certain difficulty to the contraction of the exercise that already would have been difficult. Handstand push-ups are one of the toughest overhead presses that you can do. It's a tough body weight variation. And when doing it on the power plate, you're going to want to make sure a couple things. A, you're going to want to make sure you're already advanced enough to do them on the flat ground with your body weight, and you feel confident that you can get up onto the power plate without hurting yourself. Second, you're going to want to start the power plate on a low frequency before you just jack it right up. So start on a very marginal frequency. Get yourself, 3 to 5 reps on the first couple sets. That's what I do. I also prime my joints with the power plate before actually doing this. So I won't do handstand push-ups, but I'll just go into a handstand on the power plate, let the frequency go up my arms, really get the synovial joint fluid going, kind of get myself primed and greased in the hinges before I do the movements. But handstand push-ups on there are very good. So the walking lateral raises, I love walking exercises. Mark Bell really turned me onto these. I like that they are done in a more realistic movement pattern. When we walk and we lift simultaneously, it's almost first off, it's more fun, I find, than just standing perfectly still and lifting something over your head or laterally raising from a seated position or anything like that. If I'm walking and lifting, it just seems much more human. It just feels much more functional. And so that's what this is meant to do. Find yourself a 20-yard turf. I do these probably with 10 or 15 pounds. You're going to want to measure your repetitions based on the distance that you go, not the number of times you lift, because you're trying to lift consistently as you walk. You're not trying to count repetitions. You're trying to go distance. So that's lateral raises. Next, we have military press using the Tsunami Speed Bar. So the Tsunami barbells are done in levels. They are stiff at a high level, like a level 4, level 5, and then they are very flexible and whippy at a low level, like a level 1. Both have different functionalities, different movement patterns, and different implementations in sports science. Level 1 is going to be a very good ballistic tool. So if I'm trying to really whip the barbell as fast as I can, and I'm not trying to overload the barbell with a lot of weight, like I am in this exercise, I'm doing an overhead press. So overhead press is not going to be like a bench press or a squat. I'm not going to implement a lot of weight onto the barbell. It's going to be lightweight because I'm doing it for fast, burnout repetitions. I'm trying to hit hypertrophy, especially following the walking lateral raises where I've already burned my shoulders like beyond belief. Now I'm going to implement this overhead press. It's got to be light. It's got to be fast. It's got to be whippy. So that's what the level 1 is used for. Next superset, we have rear delt pull-throughs and shrugs using the trap bar. So this is a good one. I love this exercise. So the rear delt pull-throughs, very, very good for the rear delts. Probably of the shoulders, the most neglected region, which then means they would be high in the running for most neglected region all around your entire body. Your shoulders aren't hit a lot, and of the ones that are, oftentimes the rear delts are the part of the body that really just suffer. But it is so important to hit your rear delts, not just for the aesthetic of your shoulders, but for the functionality. The pull-throughs, I use the track handles, TRAK. They have a really nice, rotative ability, but you can pick out any normal handles to do these. Get on all fours, reach for the cable machine, pull it through your stance. You'll see that I'm on all fours and I pull and keep my elbow out. That's the other thing I see people do. They tuck their elbow in when they do this, when they should really flare it out. Again, you're targeting the shoulders, not the lats. I'm trying to hit the rear delts, not the latissimus dorsi. So that's the rear delt pull-throughs. Then the shrugs. The shrug is probably the most common shoulder exercise I do. I'd say I do a shrug variation in every single shoulder movement that I ever do. It's just really important, I think, to hit the traps. Not really what I would consider to be a neglected muscle group. People definitely do traps. But I think at the end of shoulder day, they really do find their home. And doing them in the trap bar variation is very efficient. The trap bar by Kabuki Strength is what I'm using here. And really, it does a great job. It keeps your hands wide enough away from your hips. That width just really adds a level of difficulty to the lift that you don't get with dumbbells or a machine or cables. It's just far enough away. It's a free weight. It's a deadlift bar, so you can really load it up. I mean, I could put 2, maybe 3 plates on there and just do some shrugs. I'm not a huge proponent of overloading the weight when it comes to shrugs. I'll be honest with you guys. I see that a lot. People, for some reason, think that doing shrugs just requires you to have hundreds and hundreds of pounds on the bar. Do less. Cut that weight in half and concentrate on a little bit more contraction. Time under tension at the top of the rep is really what's going to get you that best bang for your buck, that best, growth. And oftentimes I think that's kind of just skipped when people just go straight to the heavy weight and they just go as fast as they can. So take your time, have fun with this workout, guys. Enjoy.